Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of the Truck Focus Podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Josh Hannaberry.
And I'm your other host, Avery and I. And today we're super excited to be recording episode 30.
That's right. Super excited for the episode today as we get to interview two people that are just doing some pretty incredible things in the realm of Special Olympics, the Truck Convoy, as well as the LETR. And yeah, overall, it was super, we're just super excited. So who's the first person that we're interviewing, Avery?
Well, the first person we're interviewing today is Darby, a three-time Special Olympic medalist.
That's right. Yeah. So super excited to just kind of learn more about his journey. Obviously, it's incredible that he's won 3 medals. And yeah, we're super honored that he's able to join the podcast. We also have a gentleman named Thomas, who's the lead for the LETR here in Calgary. And yeah, he's just all around super good guy. He is a law enforcement officer with Alberta Sheriffs, and he's just a story. It's super inspiring. So we're really excited just to learn more about him. But most of all, what's the event that's coming up here right away, buddy?
Well, the event that's about to come up here pretty soon is the Truck Convoy, which will be held in Calgary on September 11th, 2021 here in Calgary.
That's right. Yeah, super awesome events. Definitely expect a large turnout. Avery and I, we were able to volunteer the 2018 and 2019 event. Awesome experience, and just seeing the entire community of transportation coming together to really support an incredible cause, which is to help Special Olympic athletes, if it's the traveling costs to actually attending the events. But yeah, we're super excited to show up for 2021. Obviously, with the pandemic, the 2020, it was virtual, not in person, which we understand. But yeah, we're super excited. So all in all, this conversation is going to be super good just because, again, there's 2 incredible people that we're interviewing, and we're really looking forward to the event. So when's the event again? When is the Truck Convoy?
The Truck Convoy is on September 11th, 2021.
Awesome. Okay, well, let's get to it.
Hi everybody, welcome to the Truck Focus Podcast, and today we have 2 very special guests today. We have Darby Taylor and Thomas Cleal, who are both Olympic athletes for the Truck Convoy. Hi everyone.
Hello.
Hi, how's it going?
Good. Thank you guys for being here. We're super excited for today's episode. And just to clarify, Thomas is with, is it LETR, correct?
Yeah, so I'm not an athlete. I'm a law enforcement officer. I'm currently with the Alberta Sheriffs, and I'm on the Calgary Region Law Enforcement Torch Run for Special Olympics Planning Committee. So that's my role.
Awesome. Yeah, welcome. And then we do have Darby, who is the Olympic athlete, so the star of the show. So welcome. This is super awesome. We're super excited. So thank you both for being here. This is great.
Yeah, Special Olympics. Yeah.
It's awesome.
Thanks for having us.
Absolutely. So why don't you start us off, Avery?
Sure, no problem. So, Darby, can you please share a little bit about who you are and just what you do?
Okay. Hi, my name is Darby Taylor. I'm a Special Olympics Calgary, Alberta athlete. I've been doing it for 14 years. I do bocce ball, floor hockey, and curling.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, out of those 3,
And I have autism.
Oh.
Yeah. Autism and intellectual disability as well.
Well, that's pretty incredible. Even with your disabilities, you are still able to compete in those sports and still able to push through the tough times.
Yeah, thanks.
So, just out of those 3 sports that you mentioned, what do you most enjoy out of the 3?
Out of the 3?
Yep.
Well, with curling, I love doing curling more than but bocce's my favorite sport.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Nice.
And floor hockey too.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's awesome. So, how long have you been competing as an incredible athlete for?
14 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's incredible. So, what events do you compete in?
I compete in provincials. I've done regionals, and I've also done nationals in bocce ball.
Nice. Is nationals one of your favorites, like the most exciting one?
Yes, yes. This was my highest achievement so far in my sports as nationals. They do have worlds.
Nice.
Yeah, and that's my dream someday.
Wow, that's awesome.
That's the next step, Darby.
Yes, the next worlds are supposed to be in Germany for the summer in 2023, but I don't know.
What would it take to get into the worlds, like the world's competition?
It takes a lot of training, a lot of effort, and you have to win gold in nationals, or you can still go like in track if you win gold and silver, but in bocce it's gold.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. So
Yeah.
so you mentioned training. So how many weeks or days would you train for?
For like bocce, it's on Saturdays in April till like end of June. So I try and train through the week though.
Okay. And I noticed that you have something around your neck. Are those medals?
Yes, they are.
And how many do you have?
I have 1, 2, 3.
Wow. What sports are they for the medals?
This is for bocce ball, silver at nationals, and this is a bronze in floor hockey and a gold in floor hockey in the provincial championships.
Wow. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Have you been involved with the Truck Convoy for Special Olympics before? If so, for how long?
Yes, I have. I've done it for like eight or 9 years.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. It makes me very happy that the LETR and the world's largest truck convoy does all these fun raising for us because it makes us have enough money to do our sports.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, in fact, me and my dad have actually gone to the Special Olympics twice. Obviously, we didn't go last year because of the pandemic, but we have
Right.
gone the 2 years before.
Cool.
Yeah. And what made you want to get involved with the Truck Convoy?
That's a great question. Because it's a great fundraiser and it's the biggest fundraiser worldwide, and the LETR as well.
Wow.
Yes.
How do you most enjoy the event with all of the trucks and truck drivers coming out to the event?
It makes me happy to like talk to them and to like see all of the cool trucks.
Wow. That's very, I'd say, inspirational, because not a lot of people understand the value of what truck drivers do and how they deliver products to us so that we can live our best lives.
Yes, because driving trucks, it is very tough, especially during the winters in Canada. It's like extremely tough. And it's important. Yes. And I also got my picture on one of the trucks in 2019.
Wow.
That was my picture when I went to Antigonish.
Wow. That's awesome.
Yeah.
And you mentioned how it was difficult for truck drivers to to navigate through the winters in Canada,
Yes.
and they can only work for 14 hours. Plus, they also have to find a safe stop to rest while
Yeah.
they're off hours. And with the cold winters, it's more difficult because who knows
Yeah.
if there's a hailstorm or a
Right.
snow blizzard or anything like that.
Right.
And you also mentioned how you took a picture of one of the trucks. I actually drew a picture for a hashtag that was going all around the internet called Thank a Trucker, and
Cool.
it was Thank a Trucker is kind of like just like about thanking truck drivers for what they do in the industry
Yeah.
and just thanking them for what they do
Yes.
every day.
Yes.
And do you have any words you would like to share with other athletes looking to compete?
Oh, yes. I would say I would recommend them to join Special Olympics because we are always looking for more athletes because worldwide we don't have everyone doing it.
Right.
Everyone doing Special Olympics, and it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun going to these local events and competitions and doing all of the great sports we have on offer.
Nice.
And the fundraisers, of course.
Yep. So what
And
What
the
do you-
truck convoy as well.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And you mentioned how fun it was. So, what do you find most fun with the Special Olympics or Truck Convoy, anything like that?
I find it most fun to see all of the truck drivers at the truck convoy and seeing all of our local athletes and seeing how happy they are to help out.
Wow.
Yes,
incredible.
and the LETR as well. It makes me very happy.
Right. And as you continue as you compete as an incredible athlete, what would you like to be remembered for?
For me, I would like to be remembered as a great toast ambassador to Special Olympics, and also a great sportsmanship.
Yeah,
And
because
it's sport, yeah.
it's all about the team. It's all about team
Yeah.
effort.
Yes. And I've learned how to be a better sport thanks to Special Olympics.
Right.
It is tough sometimes
Yeah, totally.
to be a good sportsmanship, a good sport, because it is tough to lose.
Yeah.
I don't like losing, but I'm also know when to be a gracious loser as well.
Yeah. It's like, for example, if you were in a playoff game and it was the game that decided who would be the season champions and you
Yeah.
lost to that game,
Yes,
in the end it's heartbreaking because
it
you
is.
put in so much hard work and so much effort to get to that moment,
Yes.
and then you lose. But
Yes.
also you got to think about in the end, you got to be happy for the other team even though you were
Yeah.
competing against them. And
Yes.
like you said, you got to be a gracious when you lose.
Yes. And also it is great to have all of these fund raisers doing all this, because COVID's been hard on Special Olympics as well.
Right.
The LETR too.
Yeah, totally.
Thank you, guys, and it makes me very happy.
So sorry, just one last time, can you show us your medals? And
Yes, of course I can.
That's the bronze one for floor hockey.
Yeah. And this is gold.
Nice.
And this is silver.
Wow. That's
Yes.
awesome.
Yes. In my last game, that was not my best game I've ever played because I was nervous. It was my first time being in a national final, and I was out of it. I lost 14-0, but oh well.
Yeah. You
It
win
happens.
some and you lose some, but you gotta be gracious in the end.
Yes, and I've learned to not to say, oh, I'm going to lose to Ontario because they've done bocce for longer or sport for longer.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Darby, for sharing all that
And
information. Oh, sorry.
sorry.
Sorry, you go ahead.
And thank you guys very much for this.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you for sharing all this incredible information with us.
You're welcome.
Yeah, Darby, that was. I can see the passion light up in your face when you're talking about your medals, and
Yeah.
I don't like losing either.
No.
So it's tough, but we're really proud of you, and
Thank
we're really,
you guys.
yeah, thanks for being here. So this is awesome. And Thomas as well, I do appreciate your time today and the little bit you're sharing off camera that I didn't know. It's just super encouraging because being a law enforcement officer, working, I'm assuming, lots of hours and still, spending a lot of time in this space too, it's pretty remarkable. So I really appreciate that, but I also appreciate being on the podcast and going to share a little bit about the event. So why don't you kind of start just giving us a little bit of backstory of who is Thomas, how did he get involved with LETR as well as with the Truck Convoy for Special Olympics?
Yeah, sure. So I started my law enforcement career 10 years ago now. I was with a federal police service. I spent 4 years there, and I had never heard of LETR. I'd heard of Special Olympics, but law enforcement torch run for Special Olympics wasn't something I was aware of until I left the police service I was with, and I went to transition to the government of Alberta, and I've been there for the last 6 years. And I was working with a partner one day, and it was kind of a slower shift, and we just kind of got started talking about different things that we like to do outside of work. And he was pretty heavily involved in LETR, and he started telling me about all the different events and things that he got to do because of LETR, and involved not just like events but traveling around the country, around the world as well, because there's a lot of international conferences and events. And so we spent most of that shift kind of talking about LETR and Special Olympics, and sport is always something that has been a big part of my life. Growing up, I was an athlete myself. I played a lot of hockey until I started my law enforcement career. So I know firsthand the lessons you can learn from athletics and sports, the life lessons that it can give a person to help them be successful in all walks of life, pretty much. So it was immediately something that piqued my interest, and I asked him, how I could get involved. And at the time, the next event that was coming up for the Calgary area was the polar plunge. And I, told him I wanted to be involved in that and help out any way I could. So I volunteered at that event. That was my first LETR event. I think that was back in 2016, in February there. And instantly after that day and being at that event and seeing the joy on the athletes' faces from just participating in the event, but also knowing the funds that we raised as Law Enforcement Torch Run help the athletes directly in supporting them in their competitions, in their training, their transport to and from competitions, uniforms, a whole bunch of things that make their lives easier to compete, and saw the difference that we could make for them in their athletic pursuit and achievements. And I was hooked from that day forward. And I was a volunteer at that event, and from there I basically just continued to grow my role into then taking on leads for events, so planning events myself, and then getting onto the Calgary region committees where we'd kind of brainstorm ideas for future events or how to plan our upcoming events. I've been fortunate enough as well to go to a couple international conferences where law enforcement officers from around the world come together for about 4 or 5 days and kind of brainstorm our different fundraising ideas and see athletes from all over the world and hear their stories of perseverance to overcome their developmental disability to still be successful in sport. And it's just every day is inspiring because our job as law enforcement officers at times can be a little tough. Like we're not always dealing with people in the happiest of times.
Right.
So sometimes being at work can kind of drag us down. And going to something like LETR or a Special Olympics event outside of work is a perfect way to kind of lift our spirits and show us a good side of what's out there as well.
Absolutely. That's powerful. And I didn't realize it was a global involvement. So that's pretty remarkable for sure.
Yeah, we're actually the largest grassroots fundraising organization for Special Olympics worldwide is the LETR. So
wow.
Yeah, it's pretty huge. And obviously when I first started, I didn't realize the magnitude of the reach it had until I went to my first international conference and met officers and athletes from all over the world doing the same thing what we're doing here in Calgary and in Alberta. So yeah, it's great.
It's incredible. I think that's the power also of feeling willing to volunteer, especially in an area where you're passionate about just from as a childhood. Yeah, you grew up playing hockey, so yeah, good for you. When I was about Avery's age, I had part of the Big Brothers and Sisters program. I had a big brother, and it was more on the powerlifting side for Special Olympics, but he was one of their coaches. And I remember going to the Parkinson Rec Center and watching everyone just destroy weights. And you're like, everyone's so strong. So when Avery and I first learned of the actual Truck Convoy event that we'll talk about next, it was a no-brainer for us we volunteered for the first couple of years, and now we're excited we have the podcast that we can help definitely spread the word. But yeah, that's really cool. And again, I didn't know it was that big, but I definitely could see the impact for sure. So good for you. So in regards to the Truck Convoy coming up, can you kind of highlight what exactly is the Truck Convoy as well as who can get involved with it?
Yeah, so the Truck Convoy, it's a partnership between law enforcement and the transportation industry to raise awareness and funds for Special Olympics athletes. So what it is the event will start off with a pancake breakfast at Rossno Terminal Transport Services, and then we'll actually have the Truck Convoy where truck drivers from any company can register and pledge funds towards Special Olympics Alberta to participate. And so then the Truck Convoy gets underway, and it goes from Alderside or from Rossno to Alderside and then back to Rossno Transport Terminal. And then at the end of that, we'll have a celebration barbecue and there'll be an award ceremony. And as far as who can participate, anybody from the transport industry, obviously truck drivers, we want them to register and participate in the convoy itself. But at the event, anybody is free and welcome to come show their support, whether it's other law enforcement officers or just the general public that wants to come take part in the breakfast or the barbecue. And yeah, so any support from anybody is welcome.
That's awesome. Yeah, do we know what the truck count will be this year yet, or is it still to be determined?
It's still ongoing, so we're having more and more trucks register every day. So we do have a number that we would like to get to. We're not quite there yet. So, but hopefully as every day passes and gets closer to the event, we get closer and closer to that goal. But
awesome.
Yeah, any amount is good because the more registered trucks equals the more funds raised for our amazing athletes like Darby here. So and helps them in their competition. So yeah, the more the merrier.
Awesome. Yeah, when we were there, I think it was 2018. Avery and I, we volunteered setting up chairs we volunteered breakfast one year and chairs the next, because that was the year when I think it was Tri-Line Carriers. I saw they're a sponsor this year, which is awesome. But yeah, they took over the breakfast part. So Avery and I were like, okay, we'll set up some chairs. But yeah, I think it's a really cool opportunity. So speaking to industry, the call to action is definitely sign up. Roseno Transport, incredible organization, and it's nice to see that they're steadfast in volunteering. I'm friends with some of the leadership there, and just they're industry leaders for a reason, and it's because of events like this. Bison does a great job, Tri-Line does a great job, and so again, call out to our industry that we're really close with. I'm excited to be there, so I encourage you to do that as well. It's just the link that I'm going to include in the show notes, Thomas, but that's the best place for people to go to sign up, like from a driving standpoint.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
So you can register at the website. So it's specialolympics.alberta.ca/Alberta Torch Run, and all the event information and registration info will be there and listed there.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, we'll include that in the show notes because that's super important, and we'll distribute that as well. And then from a sponsorship standpoint, it's nice to see, again, good organizations continuing to step up. Is there, I guess, still a call to action for more sponsors? And can you kind of walk us through what a sponsorship would look like? Yeah,
so for the Truck Convoy, we have different sponsorship options. We have obviously the breakfast and barbecue sponsor, where a company would just donate the food. Those are already covered for this year, but we also have financial sponsorship opportunities. We have a Guardian Gold, Silver, and Bronze sponsorship opportunities. We do have a Gold and Silver sponsor currently for this year's event, but the others, I believe, are still up for grabs. So yeah, those would be financial sponsors. And yeah, for any sponsorship opportunities, you can find more options for that on our website, or as well as contacting our LETR manager in Lori Sittler, and she can kind of help walk people through the sponsorship route.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, cool. Because I know that's super important, and I think Lori is actually who I spoke to 2 years ago, so that's awesome. And
yeah, she's kind of the brains behind every LETR operation for us law enforcement officers. When we're running events, we pretty much go to Lori, and she kind of just points us in the right direction. So LETR Alberta wouldn't be much without Lori. So shout out to her for basically helping us function, because she does a lot and she's amazing.
Perfect. Yeah, that's a good legacy. And it's nice when someone mentions a name and the first thing you want to do is uplift and compliment. I think it really speaks to the person. So
yeah, we wouldn't be able to do what we do without her, for sure.
That's awesome. Yeah, my friend Chris, he's the owner of Compliance Box. He's more vocal on the sponsorship side, because he's a sponsor this year. And I was just like, man, good. That's gonna actually help. I was like, I wonder if we could help just be a vocal supporter of the event, because I'm like, good for you, man. But yeah, it's just nice again to see really good companies stepping up to support the event. Obviously, support athletes like Darby, and I just think it's super powerful. So I do have a question. We like talking about legacy, and we have all the respect in the world for you as an officer. I was happy to see the growth of Alberta Sheriffs. I deal with like the commercial enforcement side a fair amount, so to me, it was a big win. But as you continue to navigate as an officer, but also involved with the LETR, what do you want your legacy to be?
Hopefully just, somebody who's been an ally and a supporter of our amazing athletes to spread the awareness and spread the message of inclusion for our amazing athletes, because despite their developmental disabilities that, for a lot of people might kind of put them in a dark place, they they persevere every day to succeed in their competitions and in their athletic achievements. And it's so inspiring to me. It's inspiring to all of my colleagues as well in the law enforcement field. So yeah, I just want to be an advocate for them and spread the message of inclusion and celebrate their tremendous abilities that they can do in sport and in life, because they truly are amazing and they inspire us every day to continue to go out and do our job. So yeah, that's kind of what I would like to
Powerful, man. Yeah. Well, you're living it now, but the fact, again, you shared off camera too, and right now, just the growth you've had in this space. I think you're doing a phenomenal job with that. And it's nice. Oh, sorry, go ahead, Darby.
Just wanted to comment on something I said earlier about winning and losing, and what Thomas just said too, is we also have an amazing oath, the athlete's oath, I could say.
Do you want to say the oath, Darby?
Yes, I do.
Awesome.
Yeah. Let me win, but if I cannot win, let me be brave in the attempt.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yes, and also speaking of the LETR as well, with the law enforcement torch run, they're the guardians of the flame of hope. Yeah.
Yep.
And it makes me very happy.
Incredible.
Yeah. And that's, as an LETR member, that's kind of one of our biggest honors, is to be a guardian of the flame and to participate in what we call a final leg. So it's where we actually run the flame of hope into an opening ceremonies of whether it's a provincial, national, or international games. So I've been fortunate enough to be a part of a provincial final leg and a national final leg. I've yet to be part of an international one, but hopefully I can get there the next step.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's, as LETR members, that's one of our biggest honors, is to be selected to be a part of one of those final leg teams. So
incredible.
Yeah, been lucky to do that a couple times. Hopefully I can do it on the bigger stage next, and hopefully continue to work towards that.
Man, that is incredible. So it's called the Guardians Flame of Hope.
Yeah, so the Flame of Hope is the torch that, similar to the Olympic Games, where they signify the opening of the games, and the Flame of Hope is the Special Olympics version of that. So law enforcement officers and athletes will carry the flame into the opening ceremonies to signify the start of a Special Olympics Games.
And the
Incredible.
LETR as well. They're the guardians.
Yep.
Powerful. Wow. Yeah, I think that is absolutely incredible. And I didn't know that, so I appreciate you sharing, because I think the more all of us can just learn about the significance, not just of event, but the total national, well, I guess global movement and the support. Wow, that's powerful. I love that. I make notes as I talk, because that's how I remember things. And yeah, it gave me shivers. So that's really powerful. I appreciate that. That's awesome. So just kind of as we come to a close, Thomas or Darby, can you kind of highlight again how people can sign up to the events if you want to do it from a driving standpoint, and what to do if you want to be a sponsor, but also, I guess, what is the date? I was going to mention that in the intro, but what is the date of the event? And we know it's at Rosenau, which is awesome.
Yeah, so it's at Rosenau. The date is September 11th. It's a Saturday. The breakfast will get going at 8 a.m. The breakfast and the registration will start simultaneously at 8, and it'll go until 10 is when the actual truck convoy itself starts. And then from 12 to 2 p.m. we'll have the celebration barbecue and awards afterwards. And that'll be at Rosenau as well.
Incredible. Incredible. Well, thank you both, Thomas and Darby, for your time today. Avery and I, we don't lose sleep too often, but Yeah, absolutely, Darby.
Thank you very much.
It's an honor. Honestly, we're super proud of you. And yeah, we're excited to meet you guys in September, and I guess just about 3 weeks, because we'll be at the event.
Yes.
So it's
Coming
going
up
to be
quick.
yeah, absolutely. It's shocking to think it's already almost September. And but
Thank
yeah,
you. Thank
but
you.
yeah, thank you
You
so
guys-
much. Really appreciate it. So okay, well, we'll make sure to just we'll spread the word and just keep doing what you're doing. This is super powerful, super exciting, and we appreciate the opportunity. So thank you.
Awesome. Well, thanks for having us, and yeah, thanks for promoting the event in LETR and Special Olympics. Any promotion is good promotion. So thank you very much for doing that, for having us today.
Absolutely. Okay, well, you have a wonderful day, and thank you so much again.
You too.
Bye,
Enjoy
everybody.
You're welcome. Bye.
Well, that was an amazing interview. And thank you to Darby and Thomas for just sharing your experience and sharing your journey of how you got here. And that was incredible.
Totally agree, Avery. And yeah, thank you as well, buddy. Just again, once then, they did a phenomenal job. Really strong interview. It was really nice to hear Darby's journey. Obviously, winning is awesome, but being a gracious loser is also important to remember. And again, Darby, congratulations on 3 medals in the Special Olympics. Absolutely incredible. And shout out to Thomas. Honestly, I learned a lot through the interview, and as well as prior to our conversation. I didn't realize that the LETR movement and the entire initiative was global, for one. But it was really nice to see how excited and inspiring how passionate you are in this space to volunteer, and just talking about legacy, and obviously talk about the upcoming Truck Convoy. So when's the upcoming Truck Convoy, buddy?
It will be hosted here in Calgary on September 11th, 2021.
That's right. And yeah, we're just super excited to show up, show our support. Some really good sponsors. And so far, there's a good attendance of just different professional drivers and carriers going to show up. And again, thank you so much, Darby and Thomas. Really appreciate you coming onto the podcast and just, doing what you're doing. It's an incredible opportunity for us as hosts just to learn more about great events like this. And we're super excited to participate again at this upcoming event. So was there anything else that you'd like to say on today's episode, buddy?
I just want to say how incredible that interview was, and doing the interview as a milestone episode, as episode 30, that was probably one of the best episodes that we've recorded so far.
Yeah, I totally agree. And episode 30 is a massive milestone. And we're just super grateful for everyone that's been checking in. Our viewership, the downloads, all that type of stuff is really, it's encouraging. And obviously we're doing this out of passion, and we're doing the podcast to really try and create a pivotal change in the transportation industry. And episodes just like this, especially on a milestone episode, it's pretty phenomenal to think that we're just 2 people trying to have a positive impact. And yeah, we're just grateful for all of our fans, all of the viewers, and just all the continuous kind comments that we've been receiving. And yeah, again, just as hosts, we're just super grateful. So one asset we do have is, if you have not yet subscribed to our YouTube channel or the podcast itself on a podcast platform, we ask that you do so, because the greater the following, the greater the impact, as well as we've launched the Truck Focus newsletter. So we highly recommend that you check that out, as well as all the other show notes and the links that are going to be in the episode below. We highly recommend that you register for the newsletter, just so that way you can continue to stay in touch with the different industry leaders that we're introducing you to. And yeah, again, just thank you so much for all of the support. We really appreciate it. And anyone that's going to be at the Truck Convoy, super excited to see you there, as well as we're super excited to officially meet Darby and Thomas at the upcoming event. So thank you so much, everyone. I hope you have a great day. Bye.
Bye.